Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty.
Hey folks, good afternoon. It is Thursday and we're streaming. It's been a busy old week this week, and I figured I'd just share this customer build we're going to do today with you guys. So yeah, we're going to build a Keycult. This is for a customer called Will. I don't know if they're on Discord or YouTube or Twitch or anything like that, but we are building their keyboard for them today. It's a Keycult it's Keycult number 165 in green and black. Apparently it's still got the seal on it. This is the box that the Keycult's come in. The seal still hasn't been broken here, so we'll get to do that. So the customer themselves hasn't even seen this board, and we're going to be building it with viola switches and type plus stabilizers, and then we'll see if we can find something that fits on the keyboard from a stock perspective, and then go grab a set as well. So yeah, so exciting. Let's catch up with the chat. 2D Moon was here first. I think you used the build command before I'd updated it, but thank you for that. Piney's here as well. Hungry Hannah, thank you so much for 11 months of subs. Wolfie, I hope your day's going well. Eritaze says, how many hash browns should I have eaten for breakfast? Like at least 3, right? I did not plan for this stream, but I'm totally here for it. I didn't plan for it either until 15 minutes ago. So yeah, pleasant surprise. Nice. Glad you're here, Smoketown. Karja, thank you so much for 47 months of subs, dude. That is crazy. Storesness is here as well. Chris Bezic, thank you so much for 38 months of subs. Says Cash Money, here to stump. Thanks, dude. Thanks, dude. 6 month recurring sub so you don't miss out. Nice, that's the way to do it. Yeah. Different keyboard on the table today. Yeah, this is the Matrix keyboard we built a couple of weeks ago. It has not left my desk since I built it, and I've even put the PT logo on the little screen that you can see there too. So this is the Matrix Fuaqua 100 NG My 2K edition. Yeah. Just leaving it on a little side screen till my 2 p.m. I hope we get captions. Captions should be on by default, but let me know if they're not, and I can always change that. Such a lovely board, dude. It's insane, is that board? It sounds really good as well, and it's very extra, but that's Matrix's style, right? So yeah. I did say we'd catch up with PT News, but there's not much going on really. We're just waiting for the next shipment to arrive, which is currently scheduled to hit port on the 21st of May. So we'll get it a few days after that, probably around, I don't know, the 26th, 27th probably. And hopefully we'll be able to get everything out towards the end of the month, maybe by at the very latest by the first weekend in June. So June the 7th is kind of like the target date for us to have shipped everything from that shipment out. So yeah, that's pretty much it for PT News. Mel's off today. It's her day off. She's back in tomorrow, and we'll just be catching up with in-stock orders. And she's been investigating what it looks like to do a barcoded system for all of the products we have here at PT, just so we can track things a little bit better than just having like stock control is kind of like manual at the moment, and if we could barcode it, it should be a lot easier. So she's going to have a look at that tomorrow as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for PT News. Spicy Misa, thanks for being here. Well, thanks for being on the stream. I appreciate that. So yeah, this should be a nice chilled stream, maybe an hour and a half, nothing totally crazy. We're just going to build a keyboard and have some fun. That should be about it. Oh, actually, some other things in PT News. If I do this, does it work? Yeah. I haven't put up the announcement for this yet, but the new Neo Ergo Batch 5, this is the May batch 5 for the 5th month, is now live for all of the Neo and QK boards. And the other thing we just put live as well is the pre-order for SA History of Violence. If you like SA keycap sets, this is pretty cool. UK ISO in base, look, UK ISO keys are in base. And it's properly violet. It's pretty cool. So yeah, excited for this. It's not cheap, I appreciate that, but it's a pretty cool set. So maybe check that out if you're interested. Right, okay, shilling all done. I'm terrible at shilling. Right. We love UK ISO. Yeah. Hey Dol, thanks for being here, dude. Let's take a look at this customer's board and see what we're working with today. I'm just going to grab the customer's email where he's given me the spec to build this as well. Right, so we're doing full caps lock, full backspace, 1.25U mods and 6.25U spacebar, full right shift, ANSI layout, and wants to use the gold aluminium plate. Cool. Should be nice and easy. Should be nice and easy. Let's take a look and see what we've got. So here's the first thing that comes with the Keycults. This is their PCB and plate batches and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, so 65% hot swap PCB with a gold aluminium plate, and it's green and black. That's it. We have gasket and screwdrivers. We also have the little, if you haven't seen these before, these are what Keycult include with their orders. You get like a premium playing card. They're pretty cool. And there you go. This is a number 165 in green and black from November 2024. Do you have any insider info about the Jim Case Sloth rerun? I don't. I'm not aware of it. No, sorry. What's the mouse? It's a MX Master 3 custom painted with our Twitch subs logo on it when the camera focuses, by Leonardo de Mouse. Here's the PCB. This is a hot swap PCB. Good old Wilbur logo there. F1 V2 extras? No, we're still waiting. Geon shipped the boards a little while ago. If you go to our tracking pages, in fact, I can show you this. You can even track the ship. So if you go to our website and then come over to the bar on the side, click on information, and then click on group buy updates, come down to keyboards, it'll take you to our Notion page. And then if you look at what's shipping to us, you'll see that the F1 ATEX V2s are in the process of shipping to us. And here is all of the details. So shipping details received from Geon. Boat is the Zephyr Lumos, and you can click on there to see where the boat actually is. That's the actual boat that our container is on from Geon. And here's all of the details of where it's going and what it's doing and everything else. So you can actually track that and follow that if you are interested in doing so. But we're waiting our shipping agent to confirm a specific delivery date at the moment. So as soon as we know that, we'll have an update on here. Okay, so that's the PCB we're going to be using today. I think these are the two plates. One of these should be gold aluminium, so that's the one we'll be using. I'm not sure which one this is. So this is black aluminium. We're not going to be using that one today, so I'll pop this one away. I should have just looked down the paper rather than unwrapping it in full. See if we can wrap this nicely. There we go, put that back. So this should mean that this is the plate that we need today. It's gold aluminium Keycult plate. Nice and simple. Okay. So before we go any further, I'm just going to unplug the JST connector from here, and we'll start to assemble the board itself. Well, the PCB and plate assembly first. Will they unload the F18X stuff in Gibraltar and then carry on via lorry, flexing by British English? Yeah? No, it'll sail through to Felixstowe in the UK. Ship is coming up the west side of Africa now. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think we're still waiting on an actual delivery date from them, but with shipping stuff, it's really difficult to nail down a date because like bad weather at sea can add 3 or 4 days on really easily. Okay, let's lube these stabilizers up and get them on board. So the customer requested a full backspace, so we can do an assembly of this. These are the Type Plus stabilizers that the customer's requested. We're going to do full backspace. So with the Type Plus stabilizers, I like to assemble them first. That's one side assembled. We'll do the other now. They have also requested ANSI enter. So decidedly un-ISO build today, I'm afraid. Yeah, shipping itself is a bit of a dark art, to be honest with you. But as soon as we get the boards in from Gion, we'll get them through QC and get them shipped out to customers as quick as we can. The customers also requested full left shift and full right shift, but this is a 65, so it can't have full right shift, so we don't need a stabilizer for that one. I think the customer just means the largest key we can put there. I hope I put it in the right spot. Come on, Jane, what are you doing? There we go, and 6.25U spacebar, which I think this supports only 7U. So I'm pretty sure this only supports 7U spacebar. Yeah, there is only 7U support on this spacebar, so we're going to have to do it 7U for the customer. Unfortunately, that is the only option supported here. But that's fine. I'll have to let them know when I send the board back to them that 7U is the only option the PCB supports, because unless there's one in with the board, which I don't think there will be, there's no solder PCB with it. We should probably just check that, but I've never had a Keycult where it's shipped with the PCB in the board. But let's just double check that before we go any further. So the reason why I don't pre-loop the wires on these first is because you have really good access to them underneath. And all that tends to happen on these stabilizers is because they're quite finicky to assemble, you just end up scraping the lube off on the sides, but you have really good access underneath to the wire. You can see the wire really crisply and cleanly on both sides, so it's very, very easy to apply lube. But because you have to kind of like twist them in a strange position to get them to assemble, so just for reference here, to kind of like assemble them, you have to push the top part through, camera focus, through the hole, catch it in the connector, then bend it at 90 degrees, and then click it in. Like by the time you've done that, you just end up scraping all of the lube off on the housing and just gumming up the works rather than actually lubricating the stabilizer nicely. So doing it this way just means that because the wires are hook shaped, you're just lubing them after they're built effectively. There you go. Because the wires have this hook shape to them, you only really need to lube this bit of the wire and then the top bit where it can touch the housing after you've assembled. So just applying lube from the underneath through that little gap in the base of the stabilizer just makes so much more sense. So you can access the whole wire from in here, just through there. And then you can put lube on top of the stabilizer by following the wire up into the housing here. There's like a nice big gap up into the housing there as well. And then just the side of the slider rails, which you can do before or after assembly. That doesn't make a difference. I just prefer to do it after. I find it a little bit easier. Right. Let's just pop those to one side and just double check the board doesn't have a PCB with it. Now the customer has not unsealed this. This is still factory sealed, so I feel like we're getting a very special view on this. We're seeing this before the customers, which is pretty cool. It's nice to see Keycult are still using this packaging as well. They've been using variants of this for as long as I can remember. But I'm pretty sure there won't be a PCB in here. I still always prefer hard case over packaging. Yeah, I'm in that boat too, JP, as well. Oh wow, what a great colour. What a great colour green that is. What a fantastic colour. Start thinking of sets that we might be able to pair with this that are in stock, because the customer doesn't have a key set for this yet. So think of some sets that are in stock, and we can maybe get them sorted out with that as well. Good afternoon, Lazy Keycult. Thank you very much for being here. The customer did ask me to try and find a set that would look good on it from our range of in-stock products. So that's not just me trying to make an extra sale. It is what the customer requested. So it's like the Envoy green. Yeah, it's not too dissimilar. JRG is the answer. I think so too. Right, let's get these lubricated up and assembled, and then we can take the board apart and pop everything together. Yeah, so on these stabilizers, I've just put lube all over my hand. Nuke Data R2. I mean, we can have a look at the color and see if it works well. I mean, the customer's going for ANSI, so I don't think I have Nuke Data in my personal collection, actually. Don't think I have it. Thank you very much. The watch was an impulse purchase a few weeks ago. I blame my friend Nick, who may or may not be watching. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to pop some lube on the wire underneath, and we're just going to lay that in nicely. Then we're going to come around the top, and we're going to go in through the top of the stabilizer, just follow the wire, and just round wherever it touches any plastic. Then once we've done that, we're going to make sure we've got very little lube on our brush, and we're just going to gently paint the sides of the slider. Again, we're not trying to gum up the works here, we're just trying to add enough lube to make them smooth and to keep them self-lubricating effectively. Mr. Clownfish, thank you so much for being here. I'm doing well today, thank you. Apart from getting stuck in traffic for 90 minutes earlier on today, today's been a good day. This was actually supposed to have been built this morning, so the fact that I'm doing it on the stream is because, well, I didn't get here this morning. I got here this afternoon instead, or almost afternoon. I think it was like 11 AM when I got to work finally today. I had to go pick my wife up from the airport, and there had been an accident on the motorway. Now, it wasn't getting to her. Getting to the airport was fine, but I did see that the motorway was closed on my way to the airport, Manchester Airport, because I saw like the whole rolling roadblock and stuff on the other side of the motorway. So I knew that I needed to avoid the motorway coming back, so I put it in the sat-nav, and it took us a long circuitous route, and we still ended up stuck in traffic. So it was an extra 90 minutes over and above what I'd planned for the whole journey, which is fine. Do switches need relubing, and if so, how often? It depends on the switch, and it also depends on how heavy you're using them. I tend to find that switches that have been broken in will need lubing less frequently, but you might find that a switch needs lubricating after 3 or 4 years of use. Like, it's not going to be anytime quickly. They're pretty much a closed ecosystem once you seal them up, so it's only going to change by slight dust ingress, significant use, settling of the lubricant itself. If you use oils, you tend to need to lube them a little bit more often than if you use a grease, but both are valid. So realistically, if you're using the keyboard every day, maybe every 4 or 5 years, you might have to re-lube the switches, if that. I have keyboards that have never had switches re-lubed, and they've been in my collection for 10 or 12 years now, so. When we have flying cars and no more traffic, it's 2025. These inventors really need to stop slacking. I mean, I love cars. I love driving, so. I don't like being stuck in traffic, but I do love driving. Cherry Waves, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Any new car imports? Thunder Panda? No. I cannot afford any new vehicles at the moment. It's been close to 8 months since I last had a paycheck, so I am struggling, to say the least, right now. No new car imports. I do wish, though. I do wish. Right, okay, let's get these into the PCB. I think I already have some screws from a previous build here, so we'll just use these first. Let's put the washers on. In this economy. I think there's a lot of stuff happening that's just slowing things down in keyboard build a little bit. Mainly things like tariffs and stuff like that. That's having an impact now. I know there's been quite a few Reddit threads recently, and similar conversations around tariffs, and I don't know why this won't go on. Why won't you go on? This washer just does not want to go on this screw. But also the economy itself isn't great everywhere. You know, it's almost stepping up to a recession in some places, so we shall see. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. That's 5. I have run out of washers there. I do have some more here. Terra Below should look nice on this. Yeah, it would actually. Wasabi as well. Wasabi would also look great, yeah. Terra Below should be in stock very, very soon. I am just waiting for Ecto from Protozoa Studios to just finalize a few things, and then we can get all of the Protozoa stock listed. It's taken a lot of work, but it's pretty much ready. 8, there we go. Yeah, it's taken a lot of work, but we're just about there now. Just about there. So all the product listings are ready, and I'm hopefully we'll put the Protozoa stock in stock next week sometime. Panda would be nice if they buy 2 keyboards. Panda's also nice. Panda's also a great set. I should have probably messaged the customer and told him I was building his keyboard. Oh, well. I'll send him the stream link afterwards. You only have 2 hands. 2 keyboards then, right? 2 hands, 2 keyboards. Okay, that is spacebar installed. let's now go and do backspace. I do like Wilbur PCBs. Like, they always just feel really nice to assemble. I don't know if you guys have experienced that. And remember, you're not trying to break the PCB when you install switches and stabilizers. You're just trying to screw these tight enough so that they hold the stabilizer in place. So you want to go to finger tight and then a quarter turn more, and that's it. Just so they're nice and locked in. Okay, then we just need to do left shift. I think we might have to change some of the customer's choices here, because I'm pretty sure that was a stepped caps lock as well that I've just seen up for the hot swap socket. Which does go against the customer's request, but if it's the only choice we've got, it's the only choice we've got. It may have been full and I might have just been looking at it wrong. We'll soon see. There we go. Yeah, because the plate supports both. That's definitely stepped caps lock though. Definitely stepped, because it's towards this side of the slot. Yeah. Okay. Now, it's a while since I've built one of these, but if I remember rightly, Keycult do provide the standoffs to support these. Check my outstanding orders. They have 7 keyboards outstanding and 6 of them are boards. It's hard to find things which really speak to me these days. That's fair. Okay, no, they don't provide standoffs. What I was remembering is the alignment pins, which we will need. Yes, okay. So let's just pop these in this tray here, and the additional screws there, and then we can use those as we need to in a few minutes time. Cool. Okay, so that's all nice and assembled there, nice and neat. Now let's pop our switches in the plate. 3 boards currently, F1, Petrichor and bias. Yeah, I'm a little worried about the Petrichors. Sharon mentioned there been some issues with them, so I need to maybe step in and take a look at that in the next couple of days. Right. Okay, just gonna grab a plate fork. And then we'll start installing some switches. That is a tight old plate. That feels a little bit. Just felt like I'd bent a pin there, but I haven't, looking at it, so we'll go with that. Why would they need to buy 2 keyboards for Panda? Blackberry, I'm not sure. Did I miss a joke here? Did I miss the joke? Did it whoosh over my head? I'm not quite sure what's happening, but my phone is going absolutely crazy in my pocket as well. This means that either the world is burning down and keyboards are all dead, or I'm just going to check Discord just in case it's anything like that. Oh no, it's a personal message. Okay. Oh man, no, Discord DMs are going nuts right now. Okay, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Attempted by Bio, this is Lava. I think it looks even more striking than BIOSD. So we should have some Lava extras very soon. Lava has been a bit of a frustration of mine recently. It's just been an interesting one because we sold it for the UK obviously, and then of course loop switches in the US had their issues, and we've kind of had to support US buyers of it. But now we're going to be in a tariff situation where they ordered it before tariffs were a thing, and if they get tariffs on their imports now from us, I think the only thing is fair for us to pay it. The problem is it's going to be 145% of their orders, so we're going to lose the group buy revenue as a loss, which that's substantial, right? So yeah, that's going to be a frustrating time, but it is what it is, and it's not the customer's fault. It is just one of those things, but it's trying to do the right thing by helping out customers that were affected by the loop switch order, and now we're just going to get hit with a world of pain. So let's say it was 10 grand's worth of orders we took. We paid that to the manufacturer, Kazewa, and then we made a small amount of profit on those units, maybe let's say £1,000, 10%. And now it's going to cost us £14,500 to export them all to the US. Okay, almost there with this. We are very limited in terms of options for this bottom row for the customer. I am going to have to email them and say, really sorry, but these were the only choices here. But there we go. That's all of the switches installed on that lovely looking golden plate. These switches are really pretty as well. Fallacy, thanks very much for being here. Appreciate you. You've seen some issues between Manu and Kazewa as well. Yeah, I mean that's just different. I mean, I have thoughts on that as well, but this is probably not the place to share those. Okay, the customer does have a few spare switches because they did buy 70 and they only need 66 for this build. Okay, let's take a look at the actual keyboard case now. So if I remember rightly, we need to take off this. Will take off the base of the keyboard, if I remember rightly. It's a while since I built one of these. Oh, there is a screw missing. There is a screw missing. Interesting. Luckily, oh, it doesn't have a spare of that size. I might have a spare that I can give to the customer though. But it does have a screw missing. Almost there with the screws now. So what we'd have to do here is we do have to take the whole board apart to be able to get the daughter board in place. So now I've undone all the screws, we can take the top case off, and then that gives us access to take the middle layer out, which is kind of like a deep-seated tray with the weight design all in one. Quite clever. And then that means now, oh, there's the missing screw. How on earth did that get in there? The only thing I can think of is that the screw came out of this hole, fell down here, and fell all along this channel, and somehow did not scratch anything. Wow, okay. That's something. It's impressive. Just want to make sure I get the USB-C aligned properly here. Good. I'm just going to pin that down and then tighten these two screws. So I was just holding it in place with two screws, making sure it was nice and square, and then now we're fastening it in. There we go. I'll probably put the two screws in. I'm going to tuck that cable into there. Come on. Why are you misbehaving? Okay, now we can reinstall these screws. And this reconnects the way back to the base. Just like so. There we go. There we go. Nice, smooth, and even. Okay, so next job is to install the gaskets, and we're going to install these on the little strips here. You can see there are indentations for the gaskets all around the board, so we're going to pop those into place. The first three done. Now we're just going to do the ones on this green front edge. Thank you for redeeming caffeinate. Drinking our own fiction blend today. Okay, that's the gaskets now installed on the bottom case. The next thing we're going to do is install the little POM standoffs. These are small alignment pins effectively, and they just drop in just to help align the plate and PCB assembly inside the case. And they just go in each corner where the PCB and plate meet. Just like so. Okay, now we've done that, we can attach the PCB assembly using the provided JST cable, and then we can drop it into the board. We would if the cable was aligned the right way. Come on. And then now we can drop the plate and PCB assembly onto the gaskets. And then what we're going to do here is just make sure that it's sitting correctly where the little plastic nubbins are for it. Just like so. Okay, put that to one side. Ariga, thanks for saying really enjoyed watching your streams. Sunny day here in Manchester. Given the current state of the keyboard scheme, what are your thoughts on the rise of super affordable boards? And where do you see our hobby heading over the next 5 years? So there's a multitude of questions in there. First of all, I'm glad it's sunny in Manchester. It was not sunny when I was there this morning, but I'm glad it's sunny now. Where do I see the hobby heading over the next 5 years? I think we're going to have a sort of regression of the hobby back to how it used to be in maybe 2017, 2018. And what I mean by that is that there's kind of going to be two camps of keyboard enthusiasts. There is absolutely going to be the kind of enthusiast who wants to purchase high-end keyboards like this Keycult that we're building today. And also there's going to be the other side of it where people want the cheaper kind of boards. And I think that realistically, I think the way that this is going to pan out is that the cheaper boards, this race to the bottom that we've experienced over the past couple of years has kind of decimated the higher end space to some extent. And by that I mean what used to be the high end space. The high end space used to be, you know, the $400, $500 custom keyboard. I think what we'll end up with is we'll end up with a bit of those kind of keyboards that disappear because people won't be able to produce them for that kind of price. You'll either have to produce tens of thousands of boards to get them to the $150 price mark like a Neo or a QK board, or alternatively you'll have to produce 50 of them and have something stupidly expensive like the Icebreaker or Cleaver where it's $1,000 a keyboard. I'm not sure that I see there being much room for the middle ground. Which is a shame in some ways because that's kind of where the hobby grows its most. That's where a lot of the cool ideas come from. So we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. Like, I'm always here for it, and I'm always excited to see how the hobby progresses and changes. But I don't think... I think the race to the bottom has kind of killed off the middle kind of sector, and it will continue to do so. I think the other thing that will happen as well is a lot of these lower spec boards will start to sell less well because people who wanted those lower priced boards have now obtained them, and they're not going to be the collectors that you kind of experience like me, who's got drawers full of keyboards. You know, the people who want a Neo 65 maybe want a Neo 65 and a Neo 80 and then they're done, or a Neo Ergo and a Melitrix Zoom 98, right? Once they've got those boards, and that's kind of like $500 investment total, they're probably going to be done. They might buy accessories like desk mats and keycap sets, but I think that's kind of, they're going to buy a board maybe in 4 or 5 years time. They're not going to buy a board every 6 months or 12 months or 2 years or collect keyboards. So I think that's kind of going to die down a little bit. But we'll see. The other thing as well that's going to happen is tariffs in the US are going to kill most hobbies anyway. So for those of you who aren't aware, there is a series of tariffs that Donald Trump has introduced in America, which mean that if you import something that's made in China, you have 145% tariff based off the product price. If you import something made in Europe, I think it's 34% tariffs, UK is 10%, and all of these other tariffs. And what that's gonna mean is it's gonna mean that every keyboard or every GMK set, for example, that used to be, let's say, $150, it's now 34% more expensive for the vendors to import them. The vendors don't have 34% margin, so they can't sell it at the same prices. So the price is going to have to increase, but no one's going to want to pay $200, $210 per keycap set. So a lot of, and you can then take a look at this as keyboards as well. You know, when QWERTY keys start shipping to the US, they're going to get, for a $150 keyboard, it's going to get hit with a $145 import fee because it's been made in China. No one's going to want to pay an import tax bill of 145% of the original cost. If you spent $100 something for the product and then you get a bill for imports for $145, you're paying $245 for a $100 item. No one's going to like that. So I think what's going to happen is, because those costs will happen to vendors as well when they're importing things, like importing raw materials and keyboard cases and, you know, Keycults that are made in China and whatever else, vendors will start to get those costs as well. What's going to happen is the prices are going to go up and up and up, and no one is going to buy them, which means that because the US plays such a big part in the MOQ of pretty much all keyboard products, more and more group buys are going to fail, more and more products are not going to get made. For example, on a standard GMK group buy, you know, if it might sell 500 sets worldwide, which it sounds like a lot of keycap sets, but it's not really in terms of manufacturing quantities. 500's like nothing, it's a drop in the ocean really. But the US right now is probably accounting for 250 to 300 of those on an average GMK set. The EU is maybe 50 and the UK is maybe 20. And then you've got China and all the other places, Canada and whatever else. But the vast majority is sold in the US. If that market gets decimated and disappears, you know, a lot of products aren't going to get made. So there's those other considerations as well. If you take the largest economic player out of the hobby, from a consumeristic perspective, the hobby's not going to do so well. So we'll see. We'll see. Nice to see the Z getting some road time. Yeah, the Z was out most of last week and a couple of days this week, Joe. Yeah. Will you be doing the beta group buy tomorrow? Yes, Juice Daddy, the beta group buy will be live tomorrow, yes. I think the cheat boards are going to come back up, and upgrades for those boards to make them feel better are going to be big. Maybe. I'm curious how you make the Spurs bar work on this cube. I only had to play around a bit. You mean as in make it work? Physically make it work? I'm not sure what you mean, Zosco. Baggery, hey man, good to see you, dude. With more of the bigger gamer brand boards now having some level of enthusiast features, do you ever see a day when they start to cater more for this market, given they are pricing their top end boards in that $200 to $300 price range? Maybe. I think they've tried this with a couple of boards. They've tried to look at it. I don't see it being. I don't see it being a thing really. I think the thing with all of the what I would call custom keyboards is that they are, even the big manufacturers like QK and Bellatrix who are doing 10,000 units, that's still not huge numbers in, you know, in terms of manufacturing quantities. Like if you pick, say, Razer or Corsair or whatever other brand, they're probably making 100,000 units of every single product, like minimum. 10,000 is pretty much a drop in the ocean, and I think that people who want gamer branded boards don't want a custom keyboard. They just don't want one. Like I know a few people. I hope she's okay with things. But Mel's partner Connor, he's very much a gamer. He does not want a custom keyboard. He does not like custom keyboards. He wants his. I think he's got a Corsair keyboard with rattly stabilizers and a numpad that he never uses, and you know that's probably typical of the gamer market. So trying to convince gamers to step away from that to something like this that we know can be objectively good is a difficult ask. Oh, you meant to sound good? Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is a customer build, so it's kind of going to sound how it's going to sound, right? That's yin and yang in relationships. Maybe. Wooting's Optimum offering might not be successful enough to entice other gamer brands. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the Wooting stuff goes. I know the guys at Wooting a little bit, so we'll see. Most don't notice the difference, or they haven't used an objectively good keyboard. So Mel's partner is aware of all these things. Like he's tried keyboards that Mel's taken home, and he still prefers his Corsair. So I think it really does just depend on the end user and what they like. Why is this not sitting correctly? Okay, I think that's going to work there. I think we're just going to have to use a top case to force it down a little bit, which I don't like doing, but what's it getting stuck on? So those alignment pins that we put in is what the keyboard's currently getting stuck on. So try and adjust it. So one of these alignment pins is kind of sat on a diagonal and just does not want to align correctly. Mike and Alex generally don't use alignment pins. Yeah, if it was my personal build, I probably wouldn't. I may have to take them out. Just, yeah, let's take them out. As it was a customer build, I was just trying to do everything correctly. There we go. We'll take them out though. It just doesn't want to grab over them all. I think because they're not truly cylindrical, they're kind of cut like with pliers from a longer strip. So I suspect that that's part of the problem with them.
Incredible.
There we go. Right, let's see. Let's try that again. Just gonna make sure everything's lined nice and neatly before we seal the case up too much. Okay, that should be good. Yeah, the alignment pins aren't particularly straight. They're not needed though. You can assemble it without them. So I've just taken it out for now. I think if they made them from like actual milled stock, it would be better. Or use like a screw-in post. A screw-in post would probably work better actually. Like a screw-in post as a standoff as an alignment pin. Something that you could make out of metal would be probably better. Okay, all looking good. Super neat and super clean. Okay, good question coming here from Masson. So let's have a look at this. I went to my son's office that's full of coders, nice, and techs, and they all use NAF Microsoft keyboards. Why do you think our great keyboard hobby isn't out there to the wider UK audience? Think of all the people that would benefit from a custom keyboard to use in their daily jobs. Okay, so there's a few different aspects to this. First of all, I think a lot of people out there who are into custom keyboards are into tech, like they are probably coders, developers, that kind of thing. We ship a lot of keyboards out to all of the coding hotspots in the world, Israel, San Francisco, wherever the tech valleys are, right? But I think there's two elements to that. A lot of people will probably know about the hobby and be aware that custom keyboards are a thing, but some companies will have protocols in place to stop you using your own keyboard and your own equipment, and they will provide a keyboard for you, and you have to use that. My old job was very much like this until they started to bring your own device, which I implemented. But historically I used to work for a bank, and they were very much a case of you will use this desktop PC and this keyboard, and you have this laptop for when you're out and about. So I think there will be a lot of security concerns around people bringing in their own keyboards in some companies. You know, your big tech players like Microsoft and Apple and companies like that probably don't want you using your own custom keyboard. Or may not when you're using your own custom keyboard. And then I think there's another kind of area that people are like, well, why spend £500 when a £15 tool will do the job, right? They are people who don't see it as anything other than something to bash on. They don't know that something is nice out there. They aren't the type of person that needs a nice tool to do a nice job, you know. They are the sort of person, if they had to do a lot of writing, would just use a standard biro, rather than someone who is into pens, who would buy a really nice fountain pen or something similar, like a Schaefer or a Parker or whatever brand you want to pick on, to write with, because they were writing a lot, you know. You can see that another great example of this is with taxi drivers, right? This sounds like a bizarre thing, but if I was sat in a car all day long, driving a car all day long, I'd want a nice car to do that in. I wouldn't want to do it in a Prius, right? Sure, it might be more environmentally friendly, but I wouldn't want to do it in a Prius because I wouldn't enjoy driving a Prius. I'd want to do it in something like maybe a nice Mercedes with leather seats in the back and options for charging and 3-zone control for air conditioning so people can be comfortable. I'd want to look at it that way. But most taxi drivers drive a Prius because they're looking at how much things cost, they're looking at keeping things on a budget, and they want to be as economical as possible. And it's a case of it's just good enough to do the job. So I think there's multiple kinds of different layers to that. So yeah. Blue Slushy says, do you know how many orders you got for the Keycult number 160? I do know how many we got, but I don't share numbers publicly, so that's not something I'm going to share on stream, unfortunately. Snicket, hey man, thanks so much for being here. Superhand's fair point. Wait, what? Yin and yang relationships? Oh, okay. 20-ish design, bit dated. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I think these still look super clean. I mean, I remember the first Keycult I built, which I think was a number 160, was probably 2018, I think. In fact, no, actually, that was the second one I built because I had built a TKL for Brian before that. Yeah, this looks great. The black and green looks stunning. Great color combo. Right, let's get up Switch Hitter and give this a see if it's working. We have the noise, which is good. Oh, escape key's not working. Okay, everything's working there. Let's the escape key, I key's not working. These might be just bent pins. Hold on. Let's switch over to NNC layout so we can see better. Right, escape key is definitely not working. Do we get a? Yeah. Okay, I think that must be a bent pin. I think the I key must be as well. I cannot find my switch puller. Where is my switch puller? There it is. As soon as I lift the tub over, I found it. Let's have a look at these keys live. So, did we bend a pin here? We did bend a pin here. Just going to try and straighten this out. That's working. Okay, I key next. Again, bent pin, let's just straighten that out. There we go. Okay, A key as well. We've got a few bent pins here. Oh wow, this is embarrassing. How many bent pins have we got here? That should be FN key. Yeah, okay. Okay, so A key. Let's have a look at this. But yeah, some days you can get all the switches working first time, and there's some days pins is chaos. Dude, like 9 times out of 10 when I build keyboards, and I build quite a few a week, I have no bent pins. Like, it's incredibly rare. And then today, to be fair, it's a long time since I built with these switches, and I think these are quite prone to bending pins because they're quite soft legs. At least these are nice and easy to fix though. Last one, and then we're all working. Come on. The switch doesn't want to come out. Gosh, that really doesn't want to come out. Okay, we have a stuck switch. There we go. Whew.
Tasty, tasty.
There we go. All working. All working. We're doing coffee check. Yeah, we're drinking Fiction Blend from Jay's Roastery today, my coffee company. Which is pretty much what we always drink here at the workshop. Stare. Looks gorgeous. Timeless design. Yeah. You're on the same board, the same colour? Yeah, it's a lovely colourway. Cool. Okay, so everything is working. Now it's time to put some keycaps on the board. So, do you guys want to suggest something I might have in my personal collection? And I'll go see if we can find it, whatever you guys suggest. Like, I know someone's already said JOG, but if you guys have got any other suggestions. I don't have nuclear data in my personal collection, unfortunately, but I do agree that would look good. Zooted. I do have Zooted, but Zooted is on another board. Dandy looks great. I don't have Dandy. Deep Field, I do have that. Just type directly on the switches? Yeah. I mean, this is a customer board, so 2048 Lite. I do have that, but again, that's on another board. Let me. I tell you what might look good. What do you guys think to Modern Materials Stone? How do you think that would look? Modern Materials Stone. I don't have Grand Tour. I do have British Racing Green, but again, I think that's on a keyboard. Modern Materials Stone, or let me grab a couple of examples. Average Joe, thank you so much for the gift subs. I thoroughly appreciate that, dude. Okay, I've got some examples, guys. Let me put up a poll, and you guys can pick which ones you want. Thank you so much for that, Joe. I really, really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate it. Okay, I've put a poll live, so you guys can pick which keycaps. But I've got some examples. So this is GMK Royal Alpha, one of the best green sets of all time. Very rare these days, and you can't find it anywhere. But I think that might look quite nice. I picked an outside choice, GMK High Vis, just because it's fun. And then the one that I think might work quite well actually is Modern Materials Stone. It's kind of like a warm beige color. I think that might work quite well. So you guys vote away, and we'll see what you guys pick. This is the point where we demand Mars Cadet. Maybe. Mars Cadet's a great set though. I think we need a hardcore coder board with a 1, a 0, and an enter. I don't think anyone really these days has the ability to code with just binary. Is there any way we can gift through Ko-fi yet? Not as far as I'm aware, Joe, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. No rigging? Rig. You can do what you want, man. You can do what you want. Grey and burgundy colours are also good. Will match with the green. Yeah, well, I mean, if the customer's going to have multiple choices for this, because I like, you guys came up with some really good ideas. They did ask me in the email. They said, can I suggest some keycap sets that might look good with this? So I'll share with them the stream, and I'll share with them your guys' recommendations from earlier, which were JOG, Nuclear Data, Wasabi, and a few others as well. So I will do that. Materials in the middle and ground on the sides. I mean, like these keycaps have to come off this board anyway because they're my personal keycaps. So we can do what we want. Pedro, hey man, thanks for being here. Have I built an F1? I built F1s in the past. Yeah, like quite a few. There's probably some build streams out there, either on Top Click or on this channel where I built Geon F186s. Okay. Green. Wait, what? Green? Materials in the middle and green on the inside, on the sides. Maybe you're just typing on F1. F1's are great keyboards. They are
incredible.
Do you know what? I do need to write a note to the customer though, so I'm gonna do that while you guys pick the things. So, hi, Mr. Customer. Just building your keyboard on stream. Why can I not type today? The PCB only supports stepped caps and 7U bottom row. So I've built it as far as I can to your specifications. In terms of keycaps, some in-stock suggestions from the Twitch chat. Why can I not type today? Were Wasabi, JK Modern Materials, JOG, GMK Nuclear Data. What other ones did you suggest? What other sets did you suggest? Try to go back through chat now. Well, it looks like Modern Materials is going to win this one anyway. Wasabi Panda, yeah, GMK Panda. GMK Terra Below. Cool. Email sent. See what the customer comes back with. Orange and green could also look good. Yeah, I don't think we have Kaiju in stock anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, orange and green could look really nice. That's yours, Dosko. Let's have a look at that. In fact, we'll share it on stream. Hold on. I will share it on stream when I fix my browser. Okay, so this is Zosco's board. Oh, Dandy looks great on this. Dandy looks really nice. Look at that. Yeah, Dandy looks great. I like how you've got both Dandy green and white on there for the numero. That looks really good. Big fan. Yeah, good choice. Okay, so Modern Materials Stone has won. Let's bob the keyboard a little bit closer and zoom in, and you guys can see as we put the keycaps on live. Just tidy up a little bit. I think that's too large for the, yes, that's the 7. Okay. Okay, this color does work really, really well here. Yeah, okay, this color does work really well on the board. I hope the camera's picking up how nicely that looks. I think that's a numpad 0. Don't need S keys. Scroll. That is that shift key. I don't know if this set has the right keys that I'm thinking of here, so we'll just keep those to one side. 5. That. Don't need that. Gonna go with the home key at the top there. You're very happy with the result? Yeah, dude, it looks fantastic. I'm probably gonna go with the code key for there. That's gonna be kind of like an FN key. And we'll pop a command key there, just because I like it. Oh, that is 1.5U, okay. I was not aware that would be 1.5. That makes sense, yeah. And then we'll have a 1U and then a 1.5U. Just keep that to one side, keep that to one side. We'll go for Mod Musings logo on the escape. Tab key, another command key, never got the appeal sets where you can barely see the legends. I mean you can see the legends, like camera please, like it is quite, I think it's just the way the stream lights are shining on it, like the legends are quite clean and clear on this. Like there's no struggle to see them. I think the way that the streamlights hit this is probably a little bit different, but there you go. That's kind of what they look like. Sure, they're light, but they're absolutely legible and readable. A Fresh, hey man, good to see you, dude. If you guys don't know Fresh, he's one of the premium designers in the hobby right now. Premier designers is what I meant, not premium. Just keeping options to one side for this column here. I think we just want a page up and page down though. And we'll figure out which row profiles we need in a moment. keyboard now. Oh wait, we did not the enter. Don't know why I threw that in the tub. Starting to look good now. There we go, get rid of these and we can figure out the correct profiles. Full page up and page down. Page up and page down. There we go. Yeah, this is the modern material stone base. There you go. That's how clear the legends are on this, but it works really, really well with the green. That actually looks really good with the green. I really, really like that. Works super, super well. Let's show you in the face cam because it's going to look a little bit different. Streamlights are washing out the legends here massively, but yeah, that looks really good. Works super, super well. It's not very contrasty, but in person you can see it better than the camera for sure. Yeah, it's kind of like how it looks there. That's kind of how legible it is in real life. It's pretty legible. I think that looks pretty nice though. Works really, really well. See if the customers come back. He may have already picked a set. He hasn't as yet. No. Okay. My emails have gone nuts. Why is it always when I'm streaming that my emails and DMs go nuts? People must see me live and think, oh, I need to message Jay about X, Y, and Z. Okay, just an email I really need to answer quickly. I think we've got Bezos doing ads at the minute anyway, so that's fine. I'll do a sound test, but we'll wait until the Bezos ad break is done. But I think that looks super, super nice. Super nice and tasty. What do you guys think? I wonder how close the BRG colour is to it. Let's just grab BRG and see how close the colour is. So the main part of this set is on another board, but let's see how close the green matches. Oh yeah, it's darker, but in a nice contrasty way, not a clashy way. That kind of works really, really nicely with it. How nice is that? Super, super nice. Yeah, maybe that would be the score for it, I think. I do think something like Royal Alpha would work really well as well, because Royal Alpha has this really cool green like that. So it's kind of like the other way. It's kind of like in contrast but brighter, but it's also set off with the white as well. So I think that would work quite well. And then of course the outside option we had was high vis, which I'm pretty glad you guys didn't go for. But it wouldn't have looked terrible. It wouldn't have looked that bad. It would kind of worked. Like, that's not going to look that terrible. It's kind of going to work. Oh man. I know this is probably a tough one, but if you could only keep 3 keycap sets in your collection, what would they be? Probably GMK Royal Alpha for one. Some sort of Dolch. Just because Dolch is I don't know if I'd go for modern Dolch or normal Dolch, but some form of Dolch, or maybe Sky Dolch or something like that. And then I'd probably just be boring and go for black on white. No, white on black, sorry. Just because it goes with everything. So, but I could never just keep to 3. Like, I have like hundreds of key sets. Like, that's 2 rows deep, and it's like 12 or 15 high in the middle, and yeah, there's a few hundred key sets there. So yeah, one of the coolest key sets actually we looked at last week on stream was this one, and this one is not blanks like it looks like. It looks like it's blanks, but it's not. It's UV Reactive Legends. This is one of the most fun sets that we've ever had, I think. So, yeah, you can't see the legends until you put UV light on them, which is super fun. Okay, now Bezos has gone and the ads are over. Let's see how the board sounds. I imagine this is going to be quite poppy with viola switches, but let's listen and see how it sounds. What a really bright and poppy board. That sounds so good. I do like the way these old Keycults sound. I say old, they're just an older design, I think. But they sound so good. They sound so good. Sounds so good. You appreciate the choices. Like, it's really difficult to pick. Like, it's like asking me which keyboards I'd pick, like when I have a few hundreds. Interesting UV set for sure. Yeah, like it's a unique one. Careful with the UV light. Well, I mean, the UV light's not going to affect things like just being flashed on and off. Like, it's going to be fine. And like my desk is my desk is nice and clean. So I'm not ashamed of putting a black light on my desk. Don't worry about that. But I hope the owner really likes how this came out. I think this looks really good. I think it's come out stunning. And I hope that they have a good idea for a key set, because I think there's a lot of different options that would work really well, but it's come out really nice. Okay, right, and with that, guys, it is time for me to end the stream. Just a nice quick stream today to do the customer build. If you guys have got any questions or anything else, hit me up on Discord. You can hit Discord just on the link down below. Come and check us out on Instagram as well, because we post daily contents there as well. Yeah, so lots of content being made constantly. And I'll see you guys around. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every last one of you. Take care and have a really good rest of your week. See ya.